Okay, we are into the adventure set here, requested by me. I don't think I mentioned the loser requests the next set to be played, so I requested adventures immediately because lots of new stuff to explore here, right? And this board is um, very nice. There are a couple strong things on it in Artificer and Bridge Troll. There's page down at the bottom there, and you really have to think about what it is you want to do on this board. I was a little bit lost and overwhelmed on seeing this. My first thought was, okay, if I could stick to Bridge Trolls down and have a bunch of duplicates on the mat, I can buy one province and duplicate a lot. So that was my plan going into this. That was my plan going into this. But how to get there is a bit of an issue, right? To get all those an alternative way is to just stick a lot of Bridge Trolls down as opposed to sticking the duplicates down. So those are a couple of ideas out in my head. There's also Artificer again in distant lands. There's this fairy token you have to be alert of. My opponent puts it on Artificer and seems to be heading for an Artificer nothing opening, which I thought was a bit strange, but it makes sense. You'll see in the next shuffle, of course. So I have 2-5. I buy the page. I could go for a scouting party here and then a ferry, or I could go for a 5 cost right away. And my 5 cost is what I'm thinking about here. It is either going to be the Bridge Troll or the Artificer. Actually, now that I think about it, Haunted Woods is decent because you will want the draw eventually. All of this Bridge Troll and duplicate action needs draw. So the Haunted Woods would speed up your traveler up exchanges as well. So Haunted Woods is a reasonable consideration there, but I didn't go for it. My opponent does go open with the Artificer and the nothing. So I found that a bit strange initially, but I see what's going on in the next shuffle here. So here I put my fairy token on the Bridge Troll first. This is dubious. Well, I want a Bridge Troll. So I have the Artificer. I know of the Artificer. So I put the token there so I can gain a Bridge Troll off of my Artificer. So slowing down my opponent, the one less coin might come into play because the events they actually require real money, and I will want the plus buy. I believe I will want the plus buy, and Bridge Troll and Artificer have this nice interaction. Bridge Troll lowers the cost and Artificer can gain things by discarding less cards, so hopefully they would come together and I'd be able to gain more things. Yeah, I don't know about this Bridge Troll. Maybe I should have just stuck it on Haunted Woods, picked up on Haunted Woods, played Haunted Woods next turn. But I just want the one Bridge Troll for now for the plus buy and the hopeful Artificer interaction. And I am going to move that token back immediately to the Artificer. I think Artificer is going to be a key card here, especially as you can get the draw up. Because right now there's no village on the board. So you really want that champion to get your draw going. My page misses the shuffle, which I was not at all happy about. Oh, I said I would talk about the Artificer open. So my opponent played Artificer on top deck our page. So he actually got his page in before me, which I'm not happy about that. But I now try to make up for lost time by gaining a dungeon of the Artificer and playing it immediately. Dungeon is very good at cycling through. Total of 4 cards, which is excellent. And I am able to find my second page. I did pick up a second page because I had the plus buy from the Bridge Troll, and I do want that. There's also drawing Warrior, right? Something to take note of. So 5 for me here. There are quite a few options. I opt for the scouting party here, just so that, well, I could have played the treasure hunter and not trigger the shuffle, but now I can hopefully get around more quickly because I do plan to pick up at least one more dungeon and play it. So I will be cycling through rather quickly, and I do also have the scouting party, so I'm not too afraid of causing reshuffles at this point. And in addition to the scouting party, I pick up an Artificer and another page. Now I want to be very careful with my pages. I would love to have warriors with intermediate step. The treasure hunter is an issue. especially seeing as how my opponent has a few artificers. If he gains 2 or 3 things on a turn, I'll be very very reluctant to play my treasure hunt. I don't want these silvers in my deck. I have a couple 5 cost cards and I know that they can get me to place this. Also Ferry to make things cheaper. I don't need those silvers in my deck at all. They'll just get in the way of things. So my opponent gained 2 things last turn, which means I'll have to gain a couple things here, and like I have to play this one, right? This is the only treasure hunt I have at the moment. Have to play this one. What can you do? That's how things go, right? I do discard a bunch of cards there and pick up another dungeon to cycle, and I am gonna pick up the scouting party here. At this point, I am thinking to play scouting party very aggressively, or to buy it very aggressively. Don't play it aggressively, because I have what I need to kickstart my engine. I have an Artificer and I have the Bridge Troll. I'm ready to go. I just need my Sorcerer Plus actions to start adding draw to the deck and payload as well, whether it be duplicates or Bridge Trolls or whatever. So my opponent does have the lead in the Artificers, and that is a bit concerning to me because they're good cards. They're such good cards, and in combination with the Bridge Troll, my opponent could potentially have more endgame control than me. But we're not at the endgame yet, so we'll see how things turn out once we get there. One thing that passed through my mind as well was picking up a guide at some point instead of one of these dungeons. So obviously to get you out of bad hands and to speed up the exchange. But I prefer the dungeons to the guide. I think that's okay. I mean, you would love to have a guide, right? But this dungeon and gear staring you in the face there. I think you would much rather pick up one of those. So here now my opponent, he was gaining artificers off of his artificers, which was nice. The money they gave is actually quite helpful. And here he stops for a Bridge Troll. Picks up a scouting party as well. So he also has a Bridge Troll now. I don't know the reason for him picking it up. Maybe he wanted to. I don't know. Oh, obviously he wanted to, but I don't know why he wanted to. What was the reasoning behind picking up the Bridge Troll? My reason was that I don't want to get stuck. Like, if I picked up an Artificer instead of my Bridge Troll, I would have no plus buy in my deck. And then, I mean, having the Artificers is still gain, so I could gain a Bridge Troll, but I wanted to have at least the extra buy in my deck. I thought it would be useful even in the early stages, and it doesn't really cause too much of a terminal collision because it stays in your deck or stays out of your deck for one turn. So, but like I said, I'm not entirely sure I'm picking up my first Bridge Troll there. So I'm going to use this Artificer to get me to another dungeon, and I have $2, enough for a scouting party, and it is what I do, clearing 3 coppers off the top of my deck. Now I'm up to this warrior girl here, so I'm hoping to see her very soon. Very soon. Another Artificer for my opponent, and the dungeons come in here. Excellent. Duration dungeons are such brilliant things. You feel so nice being able to sift through that many cards and pick out exactly what you want. Cherry picking, they call it, right? Best of the best. So I play the Artificer first here. I probably won't gain anything here. There's nothing to gain really. I just want to play this warrior and move on to the next shuffle, honestly. So I keep I don't discard anything. I keep the money in my hand because I plan to pick up quite a few scouting parties, and I am able to pick up what, 3 here if I wanted. I don't have to take all 3. I could take 1 and an Artificer, for example, or 1 and a Fairy. But I am gonna pick up 3, I think, just to power through till the end of my shuffle. Force that champion to come faster. Have to get there. And I think I went through enough cards there, and I pick up a page at the end. The reason for these pages is that my opponent doesn't have his champion yet, so if I manage to play quite a few pages and then a warrior might cause some trouble, trash one of his dungeons or something, that would be useful. If this is a Bridge Troll, then I might hit one of his many Artificers. That would be excellent. That would be excellent. and I have a large search space. So here the bridge troll comes into play with the warrior. He actually skips past our silver because it was costing 2 at the time. So I mean, I was unhappy. I wanted the silver gone, but yeah, what can you do? The bridge troll, that's the bridge troll attack, right, so to speak. So, alright, let's talk a little bit about the game state at this point. So my opponent is also aggressively going for the scouting parties at this point, presumably to speed up their traveler exchange as well. So my opponent has quite a few artificers. They have more than me at this point, I believe. I think I only have 3 or 2, and they have the rest, which is a lot, at least half of them. And however, I'm a little bit ahead on the traveler exchange, mostly probably because of the scouting parties. Also, well, we both have 1 bridge troll now. So once you have the champion in play, which I will soon have here, the hero comes out, gain the gold, of course. Once you have the champion in play now, you really want to start adding payload and draw to your deck, right? And you need to add, I need to add draw to my deck, because the only draw I have is that warrior you see there. It's the only draw I have in my deck, and if I just stuff a bunch of bridge trolls or duplicates into the deck, it won't work as well. I need the draw to come up first. People say that when you're building an engine, right? Get your draw up and running first, then you could start to add payload. So what I am planning to do for my draw here is to move that fairy token actually over to the gears. So gear will cost 1. If I have a bridge troll in play, it will cost 0. Which means if I play an Artificer, I can discard either 1 card or no card and top deck a gear. When the champion is played, I can just play that, maybe draw into another Artificer, and I can pick up 3-4 gears in 1 turn like that and boost my draw. So the other source of draw is Haunted Woods, but it is a little more expensive, and it doesn't do what gear does. Gear can set aside cards for you. And of course, Artificer loves the inflated hand size, right? And Haunted Wood doesn't actually do anything on your turn you play it, which it doesn't fit in well with the plan of gaining multiple copies of it. If you choose the gear, you can gain gear, play gear, draw into Artificer, gain another gear, play another gear, maybe find another Artificer and keep going. The Haunted Woods won't let you do that, so it is a bit of a tempo hit to pick up the Haunted Woods. Of course, you will get the extra card out of it, but at this point in the game, things are moving a little quickly, right? The Artificer are down to 1 now after I pick up the penultimate one here, and my opponent has moved their token over to the bridge troll, so they're probably signaling intent to pick up a lot of those, especially off the Artificer play. Like I said, Artificer loves card draw. You need to start boosting up your card draw here. So this could be a couple scouting parties for me actually, but what I end up doing now is going for that maneuver, moving my fairy token over to the gear pile, because the champion is coming. I don't need to scout at this point, I don't think, because I have a lot of dungeons in play and I'm more than halfway through the deck, so I should find the champion, and I do have an Artificer in the back, so I probably could start gaining and playing gears immediately. So what is holding me back right now is the lack of Artificers, right? My opponent has all the Artificers. I would love to have like 5 or 6 Artificers in my deck, not just bam, gain gear, play gear, gain gear, play gear, you know? You would play the gear because presumably you would play another Artificer to draw into the top deck gear and then gain another one. I apologize for this pop-up on the screen, but I also have the bridge troll in play here, so I can stick that down. I didn't notice that immediately. You'll see me make a misplay very shortly. I could stick that down first, well obviously the champion first, then stick the bridge troll down, and then just discard no cards, pick up gears, and put them on top of my deck. So here you see the misplay, right? I really should just stick the bridge troll down. I do stick it down now, and the reason is because I want to play warrior and attack my opponent. But I really should have done it from before and picked up a gear and kept the silver in my hand. So the bridge troll allows my warrior to hit one of my opponent's Artificers, which I'm very happy about. And here again, you see me, I make the misplay, right? I think I need to discard 1 card, but I don't. And I miss a gear there, which is actually kind of a big deal because this gear draws, and I could have had two more cards in hand. I don't know what those two cards could have had. Could have been good. Could have been good. In the meantime, I didn't realize the shuffle was so bad, and I think I triggered it there. But oh well, what can you do? I have some artificers and whatnot in the back, I think. So hopefully this should come around. I could still make some use of my turn. So my opponent, on the other hand, has been picking up the bridge trolls, I believe, without actually putting too much draw into their deck. So now they have the champion down, maybe they'll start looking for draw, but draw is a little touch expensive for them. Because they don't have the token on it, of course. So here the Artificer comes out, and maybe this is a gear for my opponent. Not entirely sure. And yeah, does gain a gear, I believe, and plays a treasure hunter. I didn't like playing this treasure hunter. Look at how many silvers he has to gain. That just gets in the way of playing your nicer cards like the bridge trolls and gears and whatnot. But I suppose he wanted the warrior, right? And another bridge troll for my opponent. So at this point, I'm not too concerned about the structure of his deck. Like, he doesn't have enough draw to support all those bridge trolls. I won't see them as often. Of course, he could have, you know, the freak turn where he draws a lot of things and just slaps 3 or 4 bridge trolls down and, you know, suddenly has a lot of power. So you have to be cognizant of that. And here, yeah, this turn is a bit dead for me, but it still allows me to pick up a couple gears. So that is another misplay by me. I should have bought one gear, then a scouting party, then the other gear. So at least I would have shuffled one gear into my deck. As it is, just sloppy play by me there. The 2 gears are outside the shuffle now, which is not where you want them, of course. So my opponent finally has their champion down and is starting to look for draw at this point. So this is the top deck gear you're seeing here, setting aside a card, I believe, and playing a bridge troll. So 2 for my opponent. 2 is not 3, right? So it's like, again, you have to manage the bridge troll cost reduction on cards and actually having money to buy events if you want to do so. So here, now I know to pay attention to whether or not I have the bridge troll in play. I don't have it in play, so it means I must discard 1 card to pick up a gear. So I do pick that up. It draws me into another Artificer eventually. I pick up another gear for a card. That's excellent. I'm so happy about picking up gears off discarding estates, for example. Brilliant. I love it. I love it. So another gear here. I find more gears. And I trigger this shuffle because I didn't think it was this bad, but there's 15 cards in the shuffle. Where did these 15 cards come from? Lord have mercy. Anyways, I'm gonna try to do what I can. I have some dungeons and I have the power to buy scouting parties, so shouldn't be too bad. And what is it, 3 or 4 gears this turn? I am watching the piles as well because my opponent has the Artificers, but I don't think he could run them quite yet. There's an Artificer and there's some gears left, 2 or 3 I believe, and I have 12 here. So I am gonna buy a scouting party. What I was thinking here was to pick up province and bridge troll, but I cannot leave this junk on top of my deck. I absolutely cannot do that. So I buy a couple scouting parties, just clear that rubbish off, and I pick up the province here and a gear for no cost. Province, of course, is for points and gears for draw. So another thing that also crossed my mind is like you could stick the fairy token down on distant lands and gain the distant lands, put the distant lands down on the mat, but all of these things require draw. So that's what I was doing at this point, just picking up a lot of gears, and I am kind of drawing a lot of my deck at this point, so I could think about adding payload. But we're very near the end of the game now. My opponent picks up the last gear, there's 1 Artificer left, there's 5 pages, and yeah, it all looks very, very close to the end, especially with the cost reduction and the Artificers around. So here I'm looking through the log because I'm looking to see if this man can pile out. I was scared, I didn't check, like what if he has one of those turns where he finds all of his bridge trolls and slaps them in play and just buys everything. But I do have the province as some insurance, and he doesn't come up with that great of a turn. Just 7 and 2 buys with the troll, 1 troll down. So he goes for, I thought he would go for points here. I thought he would go for a province because, like I said, it's dangerously close to ending at this point. But he doesn't go for points. He goes for scouting party on something else. Actually, another bridge drill here. So I was looking at ending the game and I didn't think I could do it. I only had 3 artificers, and I would have the sole extra buy from the bridge troll. So that may not be enough to end the game, depending on how I draw, because yeah, only draws 2 cards, right? That's not great. I do have the dungeons coming in to sift, but still need to draw well. So he buys, yeah, actually a couple bridge trolls there, and then I see my opening. Maybe I could empty the bridge trolls, because I was looking at the dungeons with the pages, and I thought that would be a bit difficult to empty. But there's one less bridge troll now, and every time I play a bridge troll, Artificer's gain gets better. I can keep more money in my hand, basically, to buy things, to buy 2 things, or 3 things, because I'm gonna stick bridge trolls down and play. So this turns out to be the last turn of the game. I do use my artificers to gain and play a lot of bridge trolls, well 2 or 3 bridge trolls I believe, and I use the penultimate artificer to gain the last artificer, which gains me another bridge troll, and I have enough, more than enough buys and money to finish the game. Again, the artificer gives money to finish the game. So that was a long game 3 for you here. Very interesting adventures board. Please, you could tell me what you think. I'm still up in the air about what I did. That early bridge troll, the artificers, how good are they? Alright, thanks for watching.